the kicking game. They've run several kickoffs and punt returns back this year, and it plays a big part in their total performance. So we got a heck of a football game here today.
Now, on the other side of the coin, Jim, Paducah Tillman, a team loaded with speed and good athletes. Well, they've got 5 players that are all state, Roger, but for Paducah Tillman, I guess the story is close but no cigar. The last couple of years, they've been in the title game. They wound up on losing end. They've got a couple of fine athletes, of course. Randy White is the fastest player in the state. You're going to love him. He's a quarterback number 2. He was a running back last year, moved to the quarterback slot. Also, Lewis Ridgway, a fine fullback. And Lito Mason, a good wide receiver. So they are very potent offensively and can certainly do the job on the defensive end as well.
It is going to be a dandy. 2 teams loaded with tradition, loaded with talent. Kickoff is coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Cardinal Stadium, the State 3A Championships. Jim Frazier, along with Tim Saylor and Roger Redmond, are just about ready for the kickoff here at Cardinal Stadium. And, fellas, should be an outstanding matchup. Roger, let's have you first. It should be a good one.
Should be a good matchup. Both teams speedy, going to keep the ball on the ground. We should see some excitement.
Paducah Tillman won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half, so the Highlands Bluebirds will receive. They'll send Matt Hoffman and Chris Galicchio back deep. It's Kurt Conwell gets this one underway. Hoffman at his 1. Across the 20 to the 23-yard line, and that's where the Highlands Bluebirds set shop. And Tim Saylor, you know a little bit about these Highlands Bluebirds.
I certainly do. They've not real fancy offensively, won't do a whole lot. They will run the triple option based around the quarterback, Galicchio, which is an outstanding athlete. And certainly don't throw a whole lot. Won't see him put the football up unless primarily they have to throw the ball. But certainly Paducah Tillman is going to have to try to shut down Galicchio.
Get the starting lineups to you. First for the Bluebirds, they're 13-1. The center will be 58 Todd Razor. Guards 52 Doug Bryan and 61. That's, well, check it as we'll get to it in just a moment. You see him doing the big reverse as Hoffman will pick up about 3 yards and a little wrinkle there, Tim, early.
Well, it's something that Highlands has shown before. They were in an unbalanced set over to the wide side of the field, and Paducah Tillman done an excellent job setting there. Here we can see that on the reverse, Paducah Tillman stayed at home. I think that was the reason that the play did not go. Excellent defense by Paducah Tillman.
The left guard is 61 Steve Seville. The tackles 55 Sonny Miller, 78 David Bibb. Off the left side, that was Hoffman. Not much there, maybe a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 6 Highlands. Get the rest of the starters to you. The tight end is 88 Eric Strange. Split end will be 32 Clark Richter. Quarterback number 9 Chris Galicchio, and he's a good one. Fullback will be 34 Greg Roller. Right half will be 22 Matt Hoffman, and the left half 47 Chris Wolf. And a pitchback. Wolf tries to turn the corner, and he can, as Paducah Tillman up on the left side to shut that one down, fellas.
Well, just excellent team sheet defensively by Paducah Tillman.
Gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll be 4th and 2.
We talked about Highlands having all that tradition and winning those state championships, but this is their first appearance in the title game since '82. They won back-to-back titles in '81 and '82. They haven't been here in a while.
Brian Sills will punt. Lito Mason and Randy Wyatt back, and they've got quick on quick deep backs for Paducah Tillman. A low kick that comes to rest at the 48-yard line. Not a great kick, only like 18 yards there.
You asked me before the ball game if I thought the wind would play a role in this ball game. I think where it will play a role probably will be in the kicking game if it does at all.
17-yard punt.
And here come the Blue Tornado, 12 and 2 on the year. And looks like we had a little motion up front. Have to check that. Let's gives us a time to start lineups to you. The Tillman Blue Tornado, coached by Alan Cox. The center is 77 Brian Shell. Guards 52 Maurice Bell and 59 Clint Conway. Tackles 68 Brett Williams and 66 Casey Allen. Split in will be 81 Dominic Hughes, or tight end rather. And the split in will be number 1 Lido Mason. The quarterback, he's a dandy. Number 2 Randy White, one of the fastest players in the state, if not the fastest player. They line up in the wishbone. Fullback will be 27 Lewis Ridgway, and the halfbacks will be 41 Tarani Holmes and 86 Dietrich Wells. Get the Highlands defense to you in just a moment. 1st and 15. White, he's covered up. Nothing, might have lost a yard.
Excellent defensive play, but a left defensive end. They had what we call a crash call on, where they just turned defensive end loose down inside, and Paducah Tillman run a counter option, but when the quarterback turned around, the defense in his face.
That was Eric Strange, 80.
2nd and 16. Paducah on their own 46. Straight to throw is White. Heavy pressure. Can't get free. The sack, and you're going to see a flag, fellas. Don't know. Maybe I'd hit that.
Sonny Miller, the guy got 25.
Have to see as they sort this one out. It is a personal foul, and Coach Saylor, I guess that's something you have to see. Highland starting off initially here with a tremendous defensive series, and then the penalty.
Well, you won't see them penalized very much because they're an outstanding football team. Well distant. Paducah Tillman went to a single back set, trying to spread them out and throw the football. An excellent pressure up inside by the left defensive tackle, the nose man, and lead hit coming in right there, so it definitely was a good call.
However, not a first down. It'll be 2nd and 5. Paducah from the 43 of Highlands. Gain for the first down of the 38. Wyatt will dance around. He's got that speed. A little pass incomplete. Trying to find Dominic Hughes, and another flag.
That's exactly what it is.
You're right. It's a good thing we've got the in here.
Scrambling around.
Lead. 4th and 5. 4th. Correct.
I think we're going to see a draw here, Jim. These two teams played early in the season with Paducah Tillman winning 26-25, so it's a football game.
After the play, so that's how we 20, 25. Still on. He crosses up to the 31-yard line and just couldn't bring him down.
Well, this is one thing in the preview, how well Highlands kicking is. Do an excellent job, especially on the return for touchdowns.
Marcus did the job there of getting line and cutting him off and didn't allow him to get up the sideline.
10 home White and off to fullback. And that's 41 Ken Shields. Maybe a couple up to the 3 yards.
Thomas Highlands very similar to they're going to run the wishbone offensively, the true wishbone.
Pichio out to the 3rd line before he's tripped up. Looked like it. 8. And that would be Emerson Wells up with a stop.
Noel Skater, Emerson Wells, defensive line.
Third down 3. And nothing there. Tim Jones comes up from the left end. Put it down, and Highlands will be forced to punt.
Paducah Tillman changed their defense right at the last moment. We see right here that no one blocked the left defensive end, and Galicio didn't have an opportunity to pitch the football or run.
Punting into the wind right here.
Handling the kicking doors will be Brian Six. Back deep for the Blue Tornado. Lido Mason, Randy White. 7:23 play, first quarter. No score. They're going to fake it. They snap to the up back, and he's going to get the first down. That was before Greg Rowland, and a little bit of a wrinkle. Big gamble that fell by Highlands early.
Jim, that's one thing about a Coach Duffy coach football team. They are very solid in the kicking game, and you've got to be prepared in all phases of it, and they run, snapped it to the up.
5 line and difficult out for Highlands to get.
So they do have great quick, put the football up. We see pressure right there. Galileo took one heck of a lick, and he pitches the football. Excellent containment outside of the left defensive corner. Makes the play.
It's on the ground. Let's see. It's like A1. How many falls in for Paducah, and it's blue tornado ball. Maybe a bad game.
The thing about them, if you get good patient up inside, it certainly caused some problems, which we seen yesterday. That's exactly what happened. The left defense tackled them and met the mesh point, and they put ground.
First and 10, Paducah Tillman from the 42 of Highlands. Alito Mason comes out to the near side, double slot. They got Dietrich West, and Highlands has it well defensed, maybe even 2. Well, we'll give him 3. And we'll give him to the 40, I guess. It'll be second.
Well, it was just a play, basically. We said just a quick screen to the right end. They've been a trip set, and what they're trying to utilize there is Paducah Tillman speed. Highlands' excellent defensive pursuit.
Clock ticking. We've got 5:30 play first quarter. Have no score. Wells in the slot. No Mason to the net. Yeah, that on the drive inside 5 to the 30. Gain 10 yards on the play, and first down, Blue Tornado.
Well, they have so many weapons. Paducah Tillman does. I think that strings the defense out a little bit, Tim.
We see this right here. What we've got option the outside is loading on the defense to try to spring the quarterback. Watt would try to utilize his feet on the outside.
First down, Paducah Tillman with our stat man Jason, but I believe first down of the game. In 5 minutes to first quarter. Wideouts left and right. Swings that back. Wide on the keeper. Not much. From a gain of 3 down to the 22nd. Get the Highlands for defense. Don't believe we've got for you. The nose guard will be 66 Scott Myers. Defensive tack 55 Sonny Miller and 81 Shane Daugherty. Defensive ends 58 Todd and 88 Eric Rain. The backers are Ken Shields, Greg Roller. Cornerbacks Brian Weinrich, Clark Wyatt can't get free. Is coming up to drop him. 41 Ken Shields, linebacker, did a nice job there.
But Fort Highlands, 2 excellent linebackers, Jim. I guarantee you that. They can excellent defense. And Paducah Tillman at that time tried to run the load option back into the short side of the field, away from the 2 receivers set, but the linebacker made an excellent play there.
Rounding out the defense for the Bluebirds, we got safeties 47 Chris Wolf and 20 Matt Hoffman. Wells slot to the near side, split the backs, and Wyatt has a man wide open and shoots it through his hands in the end zone. He was open, fellas.
No doubt about that.
Some rush right there. Put a bit of pressure on.
Here we see on the replay, a wide play. The quarterback almost was down wide, but he's a tennis athlete. A tight end comes clean. Had to be a busted coverage there, Jim, by Thomas Highland.
Now they're going to try a field goal with Kurt Cromwell. Will attempt it from the 31 with the 10 of the end zone. Would be a 41-yard kick. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. Hits the barn, falls through. 3 points. Paducah Tillman. Well, I guess it'd be luck is good in some instances.
Hit right off that right upright. And he's a good-looking kicker. Put charge into it. Excitement early. And, you know, if you watch Paducah Tillman so far, you notice only one guy has touched the ball. Wyatt. 5 rushes. He's thrown a couple of passes yet to complete a pass. That tells you how important he is to that offense.
Well, 6 plays, 42 yards with field goal, 41-yard field goal. And off the turnover, fellas, first points of this game. And I guess the game so evenly matched as this one. These teams, of course, met once before this year in the first game, the opener. And Paducah Tillman equal 1-point win in a game that would be this close. Turnovers got it.
Well, certainly that was a very high-scoring game, Jim. I don't think we'll be seeing that many points put on the board today.
They'll line up in the bench formation and then spread out of it. What would be for this type of a lineup here, Coach?
Well, certainly if you're not ready for it on the return team, they'll try to kick the onside kick right there and stand and get the football, but I see Highlands is prepared for it.
Two excellent coach teams. Highlands Bluebirds 31, coached by Tom Duffy in his 2nd year. Alan Cox the Blue Tornado coach. And that one sails to the end zone. I tell you, Mr. Cromwell did a good job.
Well, that's a tremendous weapon, Jim, to be able to kick the ball in the end zone. That way you don't have to worry about the return.
There you the score. Glad you could join us for Kentucky High School Class AAA Championships. My name's Jim Frazier, alongside Tim Saylor, Roger Redmond, WMT TV and KT, in conjunction with friends of Kentucky High School Athletics. Glad to be here. The right half, the yards, not Paducah Tillman swung to the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 8 Highlands. And fellas, I guess maybe I'm looking for Highlands to maybe try and put the ball up here.
I don't know whether they will or not, Jim. They're not a real throwing football team, but it looks like they're might going to have to put the football up to be able to move it here.
2nd. In motion is Wolf, top green. Galicio is hammered from behind. That's Dominique Hughes, and Phelps came from all the way on the other side of the field to that one.
Well, great athletic ability. You don't see very many football players be able to do that, but the play, we see it right here. What caused to be able to run it down? Penetration, Jim. They forced Galicio deep. He was able from the backside to make play.
Highlands 3rd and 8. Galicio roll to the near side, getting heavy pressure. They'll make free. The to the 27-yard line as he squirmed forward. It's going to be dropped a couple of yards short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 2, and Highlands once again will be forced to punt or something. Last wasn't exactly things worked out, Roger.
That's right. Well, I keep an eye on it, but down here I don't think they're going to try any.
Inside 2 minutes to play, first quarter. Paducah Tillman leading at 3-0. Number 4, Brian Seals, Easton and White for the Tornado. Low line drive kick crosses the 40. He was out of bounds the 45-yard line. Be a 28-yard punt. And the Tornado stop 1st and 10 from 45.
Well, certainly Paducah Tillman has had excellent field position this whole ball game. Fort Thomas Highlands, on the other hand, stayed in the hole mainly the first quarter.
As a matter of fact, this is the first time a possession started on territory, Coach. The last couple of times they've started in Bluebird territory. Back throw, it was knocked down. Heavy pressure. Looked like big number 66 of the Bluebirds, and that's Scott Myers.
Tell you what, excellent pressure from him and Miller. And I'll tell you something, Miller is an outstanding football player. He is definitely a major college prospect. Right defensive tackle for Thomas.
I believe Miller was in 17 All-State offensive line.
Where he excels, Roger, is defensively. I want to tell you that.
What? The near side Mason. It's the ground. They battled for it. Paducah Tillman ball. I'm not sure if it recovered or could have went out of bounds.
I think it went out of bounds, Jim. A Paducah Tillman trying to utilize her speed with the quick passes on the outside to free that speed up. But Highlands did an excellent job of closing down. Made a hit, turned the ball over, but went out of bounds.
It will now be 1st and 10 from the 42. They picked up 3rd last play, and White looking to run. It's inside 40 to the 39-yard line. Be a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Paducah Tillman once again in Highlands Bluebird territory, Roger.
Good play that time by Hoffman. That was a ray. 6 carries, 15 yards for Mr. White.
That's quick on quick. He's back to throw once again, getting heavy pressure. The speed will do away with the pressure to get it to down around the 10-yard line. Goes out of bounds. Once again, we have a flag, and I don't know, fellas, was that the late hit?
Beyond the line.
I don't know. I think probably what we got, either beyond the line of scrimmage. No, we had lineman downfield, Jim.
Okay, yeah. We'll get the signal there. Perhaps you saw it on screen there. On the elite pass. Blitz loss of down, too. The officials will sort it out. The Blue Tornado 11-3 last year, dropped in the title game. Lost to a here with Covington Catholic, both in this district. Kevin Cass. It's the loss of Dam. Ball back to 45-yard line. Going to be 3rd and 12. Paducah Tillman line to gain for the first down would be the 3. Oh, the middle too tall for Mason. He was open, but it falls harshly to the turf, incomplete, and the Bluebirds will be forced to punt, or rather the Blue Tornado. Got a lot of blue in this game.
Fort Thomas Highlands has put tremendous pressure on back. They receivers on them about every time they throw football. It's hard to passes when you got, hanging all over you right here. You see number 1 curl back inside. He is open, but the quarterback can really get pressure, and it's hard for him to see.
Certainly. Clock arrested. 8 ticks left. First quarter. Cromwell will try to get away, and once again heavy pressure. Hoffman signals for the catch down on the 10-yard line, but hustling play is Paducah Tillman's Tarani Holmes. Downs it, and Bluebird back again in sort of the game field position, a battle of field position. Highland out on the short.
And, of course, field position plays a very important role in Highlands all bad field position and going against a win first quarter.
That's right. With wind, a 38-yard punt right there. It's one thing working in the advantage of Paducah Tillman.
And marked at the 6. Galicio with some doubt in front. Tries to turn the corner. Still on his feet. He got up to the 10 and then pushed back around the 7-yard line. So see where they mark the forward progress up to the 8-yard line. It'd be a gain of 2. Be 2nd and 8 when we return. Well, let's just keep it here. Let's take a look at this.
Okay, this is basic. Galicio's will throw the ball, but this formation, they line up to try to get him on the corner. You see both backs right there. Paducah Tillman has excellent athletes, and of course, Galicio is an excellent athlete too. The thing about it is just tremendous team speed by Paducah, which makes it on the corner.
See, apparently close to a clip there to like on Hoffman. Trying to block on the corner. I will have a 2nd 8. Let's get the Paducah Tillman defense for. Not sure that we had given those to you. The nose guard will be 34, Andre Bolin. The tackles, 76, Sadie Minko, and 89, Kurt Cromwell. Defensive ends, 88. That's Emerson Wells. He's a good one. The left defensive end will be 81, Dominic Hughes. Linebackers, 86, Dietrich Wells, and 35, Chris Bell. Left cornerback will be number 7, Others. Right cornerback will be 8, Holmes. Deep, Lucas Jackson, and 9, Michael Warren.
You talk about speed. Paducah Tillman, they had a little guy last year that could go pretty good that you guys saw over the summer, Kurt Johnson.
I guarantee you, had it was a pleasure to be able to coach Kurt in the All-Star game this past.
From the Alicio rolling right. And he dumps it out to Hoffman and step bounds at the 24-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 16 yards and a first down for Bluebirds. Let's look at it.
Okay, it's all play action. They're trying to look like an option right here, but the halfback releases in and put a little bit of it here, but the defensive end and outside linebacker were to rush the quarterback, and the outside linebacker rush, and they ended up in the pass back.
Slant pattern, and not sure that they will rule it a catch, and that was Rick up with the catch around the 36-yard line. It's another first down for the Bluebirds. Looks like maybe a little bit of the wind knocked out of him there. It's their 3rd first down of this game.
Jim, I thought it was an excellent call. The Highlands receiver definitely football. Most passes went off the play action pass wishbone, by the way.
Second quarter just underway. When the lead has with the ball. See, we have a fumble. They battle, and see, they're going to rule it. Paducah Tillman ball, and on the turnover.
Looks like Michael Warren, number 9.
Let's take a look at here and see if the knee is.
I really think that the fullback down here, Jim, before he put the ball on the ground. Series fighting for extra yards. No, it definitely was a fumble. Definitely was a fumble. Good call by the officials.
And Michael Warren got on it tonight.
And how about the Warren crew? Right on that one, fellas.
WYMT TV and Hammond. Super job there, guys.
Tell you what, good job. Right on it. And the second turnover of the game. The Blue Tornado now. Backing up the right side at 41. Tarani Holmes. He gets inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's gain of 2. Well, no, let's see. Gain of 1, I suppose. It'll be in.
Here we go again, guys, with field position. Outstanding field position turnovers. Shortens the field. That defense has got to get worn down a little bit if they get in field position like that.
Only one time they had it in their own territory to start drive, and that was the 45. So, mid-field position. The pitch back to Ray. I believe I'd given you number 27. He is wearing 53 today. And he will pick up only a yard. Nice job by the Highlands fence to cut him down on the outside.
That's his first carry. Ridgway's first carry of the day.
You see it, Paducah-Tillman was in a trip set of 3 wideouts to the right, and they ran the halfback back into the short side of the field, hoping that Fort Thomas would adjust and get more people over the wide side of the field. But you're not going to fool Fort Thomas very often, I'll tell you.
Well, certainly the credit goes to the coaching staff. Tom Duffy. I've been in a few coaching battles with him. I'm sure the task timeout on the field. We're going to keep it right here.
Guys, we got a situation today. Both teams up to this point would not free to play in the second quarter. Either convert third down situation. I think that Coach Alan Cox kind of senses, hey, if we make it here, we're maybe they've got some momentum going because, well, they have a 3rd and long right here, and I think they just want to get things right, trying possession of the ball.
An interesting point I was talking with earlier weekend, Tim, maybe get your thoughts on this. You've coached a couple of teams come down here with, I believe, 2-3 in this state championship. His feeling was that insofar as the championship goes, he wants his team to more or less bus in and bus out. They weren't taking part in any festivities or staying in any type of motel situation. He just brought them up practice yesterday, and then they bust back, and then they bus in, bus out. He has found that's the best way to do it. What's your opinion on that, Tim?
I feel exactly the same way. I've been in this thing twice, and of course we were in a situation where we had to bring our kids down, and we'll talk about that just a little bit later.
Still, they send this is Mason that side and off the flat. Heavy pressure on White. He has to get rid of it, and almost look what I found for the Bluebird Shane Auderty. That could have been.
Here again about great defense by Highlands, but we'll see here off the play, the guard pulling, and there's tremendous pressure coming from the outside right there, and quarterback White just does not have a chance to throw the football. Again, they've got receivers, but he hadn't had a chance to find those receivers.
We were playing pro football. He was in the grass. No grass rules in high school or college. Here comes the reverse. Flat down and still on his feet. And breaking free. That's Galicia. I believe they're going to bring it back, though. He danced to the end zone, but if we get a shot, there is a flag lying back at the 18-yard line.
Kicking can make it, boy, I tell you.
No doubt about it. Now, here we see Fort Thomas with Galicia again, with everything based around him. They run the reverse off of, you see up right there. But I want to tell you, Fort Thomas does an excellent job of returning punts. They've returned so many this year. I know they ran 2 back against Covington Catholic to win that football game for them.
And of course, we ran one back last week against Belfry that really took the starch out of the Belfires.
Kicking game, definitely, I think that's in that one. Or at least it got them in a situation. They got into overtime. They were able to beat Belfry. Punt had hit a Belfry player at one point, and Highlands able to come up with the ball. They put on in and scored. That was the lone touchdown in the first half. So, yeah, teams taking special tips.
Just another mark of excellent coaching. Looks like they'll line up in the straight T this time. Wolf trying to turn, still on his feet up the 20-yard line, and down high. Bluebird's going to gain 14 yards on that.
Okay, we got, I believe, Hoffman running, no, excuse me, Wolf running football here. This is the Buck sweep we've seen yesterday from Dan, where they pull both guards, and it's an outside running play, and Highlands excellent job with this play.
Leo will keep it. Dances way across around left end of the 31-yard line. There's a flag down, however, and we'll watch this now.
They had too many out there, guys. Too many men on the field thing.
I'm a little surprised right now, Jim. The number of flags has been thrown in this ball game. It's very unusual.
Well, I think in yesterday's game, the A and AA game, I think that's something a lot of folks picked up was the lack of penalties, really, a clean played game, well-played games. And now, as you mentioned, the laundry hitting the carpet. It's going to be 1st and 5. Highlands thrown 20. First down just to 33. 34, the fullback roller. He tiptoes his way to about the 31-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 2.
That how it really amazes you. You people going both ways there. A lot of them are also on the team, Jim. In excellent condition.
Of course, we were talking yesterday. Galicio virtually comes off the field, and he gets head pressure. It's on block. It's on the ground. Let's see. That's going to be Tillman. Looks like 34 on it. Andre Boland. He's the nose guard, and who made the initial hit, but
I believe it was number 88, the defensive end. I'm not real sure of his name, but he comes completely clean. We'll be able to get up on the replay.
Emerson Wells, the all-stater.
Big turnover. That's Highland. Have to check with top stat and Jason Blanton, but I believe that's their 3rd turnover. And off the left side, not much there for Dietrich Wells. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And 10.
We have him with 2 turnovers, and of course that's the 3rd in the game.
You see right here on the replay, you see the penetration right there by Wells, I believe, the defensive end, and just stripped Galicia of the football.
Second and 10. Well, it's on the ground there as Ridgway falls on it. It's going to be a loss of 2, and one of the few sloppy plays we've sort of seen there from Paducah Tillman.
Well, I don't think that was in him. That Highlands done lost the foot coming out under the center.
Loss back to the 23-yard line, we'll call it. It'll be 3rd and 12. Wideouts left and right. Mason to the near side. Rolls to the top of your screen as they left in the out this time. White did heavy pressure once again. Still on his feet. They get it to Mason. Picked off. Greg Roller, a solid performer at linebacker, and I tell you, just one of those kind of things where it just sort of fell into his hands.
Well, the thing about it was, if we get to see the replay, I don't know if we will or not, but the guy that caused that, Jim, was number 55, the defensive tackle. You see him right here fighting off the block. White goes back to try to set up, and he almost pins him there, and then out of frustration, he just throws the ball up, and Roller, the linebacker, intercepts the football.
Hoffman trying to get free around the left side, and it's on the ground once again. And this time, Highland retains possession. It's back at the line of scrimmage there, the 26-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 10 Highlands. I tell you, Coach Mattman, he sort of got a hit pointer last week. He was a little bit hurt. Do you think maybe that might be affecting this week's play?
Well, I noticed him, Jim. He just went off the field on that last play, so evidently it's bothering him.
Michael Warren is the Blue Tornado player down. Looked like a leg. He's a guy recovered fumble. You were right before, Jim. Highlands has turned it over 3 times, and Paducah Tillman has turned it over twice. Had a lot of penalties and quite a few turnovers in this first half, and Paducah Tillman leading 3-0 with 6 minutes to play in the second quarter.
I want to tell you something, though, gentlemen. This is one heck of a hard-hit ball game.
They're putting some hats on some people out there, aren't they?
They certainly are. You can hear them popping all the way up here in the booth, and that's with the headsets on. So.
That's why they're fumbling, I guess.
19 seniors on this Highland Bluebird team. Last year, both losses came to a state champion, Quentin Cath, a fullback. I believe that was Sheath, getting good yardage up the middle. And he gets up to about the 32-yard line. It'd be a gain of 6, 3rd and 4 Highlands. Look there at Warren. They're working on him on the sidelines. What a hit. That's huge. He comes through once again. Just overpowering those fellas on the left side of the offensive line for Highlands at this point.
Here we see it on replay. Highlands trying to run the belly to the left defensive side, and Pillman's right defensive end was on the hard press call inside and made an excellent play.
Dominique Hughes with another good hit. You know, it looked like he almost lost the football there.
Sills back to punt. Mason and White deep for the Tornado. Nice kick will bound out of bounds inside the 35 of the 34-yard line. 36 yards on the punt by Seal. Get a good look at the crowd, and they are bundled up. We've done no longer shine, and could have some rough weather they're thinking as the day progresses, fellas. 4:38 to play. First half. Jim Frazier along with Tim Siller and Roger Redmond for WYMT KET in conjunction with the Friends of Kentucky Sports, bringing you the state championships. And once again, you'll see the line fall to the AstroTurf, and let's see what the call is here. It's going to be illegal procedure against the Blue Tornado. That'll march them back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 on their own 29. Paducah at 5, who make All-State. 4 on the first team, as Lido Mason and Lewis Ridgway were first-team offensive selections. Emerson Wells and Kurt Cromwell, the punter, were first-team defensive selections, and Marcus Jackson, two-back, fine one, make the second team. Roger already to Sonny Miller. I'm talking about Coach Saylor. He's a good one. He's second-team All-State for these Orange Bluebirds.
In here? Where's the scorekeeper? Over there.
Well, evidently we have a problem with the scoreboard of the clock. The officials are on the Paducah Till sideline looking upstairs for some assistance.
And you get a good look at the clock. Arrested with 4:13 to play. Not sure what the delay is at this point.
Clock should be at 4:38, we understand, and some seconds have off there. It's at 4:13 right now, so we've lost some time somewhere.
Get a look at the official there, giving the signal. It should be 4:38. What a job by Jason Blanton. Not only does he do the stats, he scrambles around to give us all the latest late-breaking information. See some of the cheerleaders there, bundled up a little bit on the chilly day. Couldn't have a game without those gals. 1st and 15 as we get back to action. Paducah Tillman on the 9. Mason near side, backs in the bone. Second back through, and he doesn't get through. Let's see, it's on the turf. Fumble.
58.
That's Razor. Todd Razor coming up with it.
Here we see it on the play. Again, great penetration, and that comes from the man, number 66. Made a great play, and here again, penetration has called both teams to put the ball on the ground, Jim.
Well, the last couple of times Paducah's had it, they've turned it over, and play getting perhaps a little sloppy. Back to throw. Galicio wide open over the middle. That's 34. Roller, and he's brought down inside the 10 at the 5-yard line. Gain of 22 yards, and Greg Roller was lonesome over the middle.
Well, he come from the fullback slot, and Paducah Tillman did not have anybody in center field. They had looking for a run all the way, and he just come completely clean, Jim.
Well, our first score of the game was the result of coming after a turnover. We'll see what happens here. Galicio tries to keep it, tiptoes around right in. It's on the ground once again. They'll scramble for it. And Highlands comes away with it. If you can, the official signals Highlands ball.
They're fighting over it right now.
They're still battling for it, but the referee did signal Highland ball. So they get a break. Let's take a look at it, Coach.
Here we see they're running the outside veer. His read was to keep the football, and a missed tackle there. But you notice how loosely he's carrying the ball, and the Paducah Tillman man put his hat right on the ball and almost caused a turnover.
Boy, I tell you, those referees have to be in on those piles pretty hurried, don't they? I tell you, those guys were battling for it underneath there. I don't believe I'd want to be underneath that pile like that.
Well, certainly Jim and Roger's great intensity out on that football field, and anytime that ball's going to go on the ground, you're going to see probably 22 players going after it, which you mean right there. It's just a hard-hitting football game, I'm telling you. with the weather like it is, the coldness out there, it's hard to hold on to that football, especially the way they're hitting.
6 turnovers might attest to that.
Gee. Paducah Tillman got here by virtue of a 27-7 win over Owensboro. Then they took on Bowling Green and took them out in overtime, 7-6. And in the semifinals, they got a win over East Hardin, 21-7, to advance to the championships. Bluebirds threatened down deep, and it's on the ground once again. Let's see.
Unbelievable.
It will be 3rd down as Highlands once again battles to get it back, and perilously close to throwing away a scoring opportunity.
Here we see they're running the belly into the short side of the field, and Galicio just tries to pull the football and loses it. One thing about Highlands off the belly that no other team that I know of does, they read the belly like they do the wishbones in.
3rd and goal from the 6. Galicio wanted to throw over the middle, incomplete, and he threw it into traffic.
There's a flag.
Possibly a hit on the quarterback.
That's going to be the call. As we're taking a look at the replay there. Nice play by Jackson. Also Chris Bell to come up and knock it to the turf, but all for naught as due to the personal foul.
Highlands tried to hit the slant, Jim, off the play action pass to the split end, but he well covered, but we did have a late on the quarterback. I believe it all is.
Galicio has taken some hits in this first half.
Sure has. Really good pressure on both quarterbacks. And the penalty will be assessed half the distance to go.
I got to believe the way they're handling the ball, the weather is having a little bit of a factor with that. It just doesn't seem to be handling the ball that crisply on fakes and on the exchange.
Send Hoffman out to the far side. Galicio tries to keep on the ground again. Picked up by Jackson, and and Paducah Tillman comes away with it. First man there was Emerson Wales. And let's see, looks like coming away with it was Tim Carruthers.
Here we see on the replay, the run the wishbone. You know, it's hard to say. Galicio just lost the football. I don't know whether to put his hat on it or not, but we see 3 straight fumbles by Highlands with, an opportunity for him to cash in right before halftime.
That was Wells that looked like he may have stripped him, but Coach, he's got to cover that ball up a little bit better down around the goal line especially.
Roger, he's carrying it all loose now. I'm very surprised with the way Highlands is playing right now.
Up in the eye with wideouts left and right. And off to the tailback. I believe that was Tarani Holmes getting up to around the 8-yard line. Maybe the 9. Give him a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
There's a thing out here now, gentlemen, we still got plenty of time, and Paducah Tillman is going against a win, so if Highlands can hold them here, they can still get excellent field position or possibly block a punt.
Now we got 2 minutes exactly to play. First half. They'll split the backs this time. And off fullback once again. Getting across the 10 to the 13-yard line that time was Ridgeway. Gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4, and you see Ridgeway dragging tacklers. First team All-State, and he's drawing the attention of the Highlands Bluebirds. Clock still running. Minute and change to play. First half. See Paducah Tillman there taking time out. My name's Jim Frazier, alongside Taylor, the coach of Wood High School Trojan, Bill Redmond, WYMT TV and Hazard. We team up with KET and the Friends of Kentucky High School Athletics to bring you these state championships. And Tim, your opinion here as a high school coach and what this means to the championships to be telecast from Paducah to Pikeville, so to speak, from all the borders of the state. Do you think that's a positive thing for Kentucky high school football?
I don't think. I think it's a great thing, Jim, to be able to have this thing put on TV where You know, you want to see as many people down here as you possibly can to see a football game, but a lot of people can't come down and watch it. It gives them an opportunity to see some very fine football, which I think we play in the state of Kentucky. A lot of times, you know, we get put down for the football we play, but I guarantee you one thing, we can play football in this state, and we've got 2 good football players out there today.
Right. And, of course, in the 4A game coming up a little later on today, Roger, a couple of fine teams from Warren Central and Trinity.
Trinity hasn't lost in a while, 27 straight wins, and Warren Central's going to give them a run.
3rd and 4, Paducah Tillman on their own 13. Fullback, that's Ridgeway. Tiptoes his way across the 15 to 16-yard line. He's going to be brought short, and believe we have a timeout.
Here we see on the replay, Paducah Tillman wasn't going to do anything real fancy. They just tried to run the straight dive play to try to pick up the first down, but they come up short. Highlands again playing excellent defense, Jim.
Not for a good, solid defense. At this point, Highlands would be in trouble, I think. They've put the ball on the ground offensively. Of course, you could say the same thing on the other side. Paducah Tillman has turned it over 3 times. Highlands with 4 turnovers. I'd say both teams are fortunate to be within 3 points of one another, turning it over as many times as they have.
Certainly.
We're in a situation right now where Highlands still in excellent shape with 1:13 to go before halftime, and again Paducah Tillman having to punch the football, Jim, against the wind. So I kind of believe that they'll go for the block punt right here.
And of course, as you mentioned, they are outstanding on special teams. Kurt Bell, an all-state selection as a kicker, 6'3", 235 senior. See Coach Alan Cox making his way to the sidelines. 4th and 1. Cromwell gets it away. Nice kick. Hoffman in single safety feels it. 47 gets up to the 42-yard line. Gain of 5 there on the return, and Highlands takes over 1st and 10.
Come very close to blocking that punt, Jim. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but they got great penetration, but the punter done an excellent job for Paducah Tillman getting football. We see right here, usually most teams, when they go for a block punt, they like for the single receiver to call a fair catch, but he didn't, and Paducah Tillman had excellent coverage.
31-yard punt. 5-yard return, and it's on the ground once again, and it's recovered by Paducah Tillman. Brian Watson was all over it, and suddenly it switches to the other side, fellas, as Paducah Tillman now with a tremendous advantage. As we got it something like 5 turnovers for Highlands.
Here we see it on the replay where we come up a little bit short right here, but Galicio was not pressured. Made a bad pitch, Jim.
Wyatt is hammered, and talk about putting a hat. That was a little bit of a massage there put on the quarterback Wyatt.
Well, talk about formation, Coach. What were they trying to do with that?
Well, you know, it looks like everything's based around the quarterback Wyatt, but they went into a shotgun formation trying to spread Highlands out, and it was run all the way. But I'm going to tell you something, you're not going to fool Highlands very often.
All we've had, gentlemen, was that 41-yard field goal by Cromwell with 2:50 to play in the first. 3-0, Paducah Tillman.
Highlands with 5 turnovers, Paducah Tillman with 2, and it just sort of a little bit sloppy here. I guess everybody, sometimes when you get in a big game like this, do you think maybe sometimes you try and do a little bit too much sometimes, and maybe that opens you up a little bit for some mistakes? Maybe try and play outside of your capabilities sometimes?
Well, I know there's great intensity out on the football field, but I don't think, if teams doing anything different than here, they're going to do what got them to the dance, Jim, and
right.
It's just a hard-hitting football game, and it being so cold out there, they're having trouble holding on to football.
Wind is really whipping. 30 seconds to play, first half. 2nd and 11. And that was just...
okay, I tell you what,
the old center, whatever. I mean,
okay.
Miss that one, Tim.
They tried to run the old Fumblerooski there with putting the ball on the ground, which is actually a fumble where the guard would come around and pick it up. But here again, we see it right here on replay. quarterback takes off as if he has the football, and the guard has to pick it up. But again, you're not going to fool Highlands. I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, they were right on it.
And we have come to the end of a fine first half of play. Kentucky State AAA Championships. We're at the break. Paducah Tillman leading Highlands 3-0.
When you graduate from high school, you will be...
Dropout Prevention Works in Pulaski County's Project STEAM, which stands for Educating Students Toward Entering the Employment Market. The project serves 35 to 50 students who have shown above average ability but below average motivation and results. Student Project STEAM as one of their scheduled classes. Their enthusiasm is evident in the skits and songs the students have developed to show their excitement for the program.
Use your head and stay in school.
Use your head and stay in school.
For 10 years, I taught English, and during those years, I felt that I taught skills. In the last 2 years in Project STEAM, I think I've touched lives.
Project STEAM and other dropout prevention programs are working in Kentucky, but community involvement is crucial. Get involved. Call 1-800-432-0951. Kentucky's future depends on it. You're watching KET, the Kentucky Network.
This is Channel 54, WCVN, Compton, Kentucky.
Welcome back now to Cardinal Stable, where the championships are taking representative Bavarian High School Athletics, Larry Bissig. And Larry, nice to have you with us. I tell you, your nation does a lot, Kentucky High School Athletics. Tell us a little about what you guys do.
Well, Roger, I appreciate that. We do a great deal, and our purpose is to bring honor to the student athlete. The Friends of Kentucky Athletics is made up of Countyans, and what we like to do is to try to honor and bring credit to the student athletes, all great state, who work so hard and anticipate so much in their school activities.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call your attention.
Now, what types of things will you guys do surrounding the state football championships?
We do an awful lot for the state football championship. We fund all of the advertising, almost all of it, trying to create awareness for the state championships here in Louisville. And at the same time, we honor each athlete from each of those that are here with a scholarship that the Friends of Kentucky High School Athletics are responsible for. We have an ambassador program where last week we had representatives from the Friends of Kentucky High School Athletics who attend each of the state semifinal games. Roger, we had about 6,500 cumulative miles across the state, but we're glad to be a part of high school athletics. We're glad to be part of the state champion football.
You guys have also done a lot for the city of Louisville. I know you have a hand in the bringing the state basketball championships here as well.
That's true. The Friends are 5 years old. Our first 2 years we worked strictly on the state championships in football, and after that time we thought we should maybe approach the KHSA, and they would consider Louisville again for the Sweet 16. Turns out that they did. The Sweet 16 was held here not a year ago, but the year before, and of course this year we'll be hosting the Sweet 16 in Freedom Hall in March.
Now, you guys do a lot of work with the people who come in, but you also do a lot of work with guys like me, and we appreciate it on the broadcasting end as well.
Well, we're glad to do it. We feel like exposure as far as the state championships are critical, and you play a role in that, and want to thank the people from YMT for getting involved with us, and also thank folks at KET for carrying the games that all the folks at home are seeing today.
Larry? Keep up the good work in your organization.
Glad to be Rogers at the Sweet 16.
All right. Larry Bissig, the Friends of Kentucky School Athletics.
Welcome back, Card Stadium. Class AAA champion game, Kentucky State High School football. Jim Frazier along with Tim Saylor, Roger Redmond. Paducah Tillman leading at 3-0. They will receive the field. So, low kick. Fielded by Wells. He's got an alley for 5. On his feet at 20. Makes a move. Gripped up inside the 35 at the 32-yard line is making a saving tackle. Richter, otherwise, looking at 6 points for the Blue Tornado. And that time, Coach, it looked like on the kickoff they were trying to get the ball more or less whip kick, a low kick away from the speed of Paducah, but Dietrich Wells, an outstanding return.
Well, he did a good job of quick kick, but he's going to do a lot of things for you, Jim, and just an excellent return. Paducah did great field position.
47-yard return. The eye is Wells in the slot to the right. A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield and brought down at the 37-yard line was Wyatt as he dropped back there by
Eric Strange.
Here we go with defense, guys. Only 6 first downs between the two teams in that first half. Paducah Hillman, 16 rushes, just 23 yards on the ground in the first half, 36 yards of total offense, just 1 of 7 through the air. 3 of 3 through the air was Highlands, but they didn't really have time to throw because they had 3 total yards in the first half.
So Highlands actually outgained
Sure did.
First half. Full count. Slashing off the left side, that's Michael Woodford. To get inside to about the 29 line, a gain of 8. Still going to be 3rd and 7.
You know, Jim, you mentioned, you figure Highlands out gaining Tillman. They trail 3-0. You'd say, why? Well, 8 fumbles and 5 lost fumbles. That'll tell you a big reason of why they did not get on the scoreboard in the first half.
The weather getting, as the day goes along, and really whipping. Paducah Hillman going into the teeth of that wind in his 3rd quarter. Keo Wilson breaking tackles as he goes, is dropped inside the 25, the 24-yard line. A gain of 5, but it's still going to be 4th and 2.
See the relay here. Paducah Tillman is on to a different set, a set that they have not shown in the first half. They're putting 2 wideouts to the tight end side, and they run the counter back into the unbalanced set and pick up almost 7 yards.
A little bit slow getting play in. Looking to cost you a timeout. So Paducah will be forcing a timeout. 9:31 play.
Jim, this is certainly not the way Highlands wanted to start out the half. They tried to keep the speed, to minimize Paducah Tillman's speed on the kickoff. But and that's one thing that Highlands does. They do an excellent job of the kicking game, and especially on the kickoffs. But they broke the big play and got the great field position to start the second half, and they come out here in the formation showing something different, and it's working for them.
Looking on the leg of the sophomore running back Wilson right now on the sideline, like the left leg.
Big 4th down call. And the first down, the 20. Mason, he spins inside the 20 to the 8-yard line. Would be a first down, but there is flag down on the feet.
Boy, I tell you, he showed him moves right there, and it looks like.
See the replay here. Paducah's a trip set to the left side. And again, most of their pass plays are short pass plays, where they try to get the ball out quick and utilize their speed. But Highlands has big pursuit to the football.
It's like Maine is still down.
That'd be a big, big low. The way they're working on him, though, perhaps maybe he just got the knocked down. Let's hope that's the case. The penalty and illegal procedure call will march back 5 more yards. It would be 4th and 7, the 29-yard line. But fellas, got to believe this is 4-down territory for Paducah Hillman. They could have took the field goal, I suppose, but in a stiff wind, really no shot for Cromwell.
And punt, more than likely to wind up in the end. They're going to come right back out to the 20.
I would they would be going for 4 downs here. And I believe get the shot by the camera crew.
Looking at the ribs, excuse me, Jim, I believe the rib area, he may have taken a helmet there, may have just not had the breath out of it.
Yep. Lido Mott, the biggest guy in town, 5'8", 143, senior. He's a dandy. First team All-State.
It's like John's size.
Yep. So it looks like now that Paducah will, I guess, attempt. No, they're going to go for the field, rather hunt here. Maybe try and Highlands down deep. Cromwell into that stiff reach. Austin with the catch. His own 13. We have a flag, and it could have been there, fellas.
Looked like they didn't give him a chance to catch it.
That will be the call, Roger. You got to give him at least 2 yards on a fair catch to catch the football, and he's definitely too close to him. You see it right here. See the number 11 right here, right in the face, and you do that, he made contact with the receiver.
11 be Marcus Jackson.
Right. So now the penalty will virtually get the ball back. In the spot they would have had it had Tillman gone for it and been turned back. So it'd be a tough there for the Blue NATO. Get offensive defense for you. Bluebirds will go with center 58 Todd Ray, guards 52 Doug Bryan and 6'1" Steve Sue Seville.
Tackles 55, Sonny Miller. He's a dandy. And 78, David Bibb. Tight end will be 88, Eric Strange. It's been 32, Clark Richter. Quarterback, Chris Yo. The fullback before Greg Roller. Taft, 47, Chris Wolf. And 22, Matt Hoffman. Hoffman with the hip pointer. He's back in there. Start this second half. Get the defense for you in just a moment. That's Wolf. Trying to turn the quick. It's a good block. Tackle up there. Good block out there. Corner by Weinrich is. Here we go. Look.
Fort Thomas runs the crossbuck. It's a wing T play, and they collapse the corner. And you see the block coming up right here, but the wideout does an excellent job of sealing off the defensive back, and a big play for Thomas.
Jackson got there, and Mendel got there as well.
Very close to a first down. As bring in the chips, let's get to blue tornado defense for you. Line up in a 50 defense with nose guard 34 Andre Bolin. The tackles 76 Sadie Mins-Cole. And left tackle 89 Kurt Cromwell. Fins 88 Emery Wales and 81 Dominic Hughes. The linebackers, a couple of good ones. 86 Dietrich Wales and 35 Chris Bell. Cornerback set Tim Carruthers and 8 Troy Holmes. Strong safety 11 Marcus Jackson. And the free safety will be number 9 Michael Lynn. First down. Our first play of the second half. Highlands with the first down, 1st and 10 at 38. Hoffman to the left. Across the 41, tiptoes his way for 3 yards. It'll be second Devin Highlands.
See the play here. It's the same play. It's a crossbuck sweep, which they try to get the ball on the outside. See the two pulling the lead back, but Paducah Tillman does a better job of containing the play and get inside right here.
Pitch back. He want to throw, and he lobs it up for anyone through the hands of Troy Holmes. Looked like Vol wanting to pass that time. A bit of a new wrinkle there for Highlands.
Well, certainly both coaches have come in, I'm sure. We see right here, definitely pass all the way. They'll do a real good job of rake right here, and Paducah Tillman not fooled.
Third down call for Bluebirds. Wideouts are in the bone, and Galicia it himself, and with second and third effort gets very close to the first down, and from a vantage point looks like he's got it.
I believe he does. Check the mark like a yard in the market.
It's on where they spot it.
Jim, Roger, the thing about Galicia, you know, he's a small kid, but I'm telling you right now, he's probably one of the strongest kids that Fort Thomas has on their football team. He's very solid, and he's hard to bring down, and with extra effort here, he might have picked up the first.
To be very close.
You know, he had up his half. It would be easy for a kid to kind of let that get through him as far as hanging onto the football. He's coming back at him.
Another first down. Their second with this second half. And 3rd and 10, we'll call it the 4-9.
That's the 6th first down on the day for Highland.
On their own 39 in the game for the first down. A 41. Paducah Tillman. Wolf. Not much. It's just inside tornado territory before he's pushed back. Give him midfield. Gain of 1.
You know, Jim, you mentioned a while ago about wrinkles now. I know that both Coach Cox and Coach Duffy has other wrinkles left up in their sleeve that they're saving for some time in this ball game.
Galicia. Not a thing. 2, 3, 4, something like 6 blue shirt there fails. Paducah Tillman's warming to that ball, and that's that quickness that they use so very well.
Here we see triple option. The read is to keep the ball on the outside, but they're pursued by Paducah defense.
3rd and 6, Highlands. Galicia looking, flinged it long. Looked like he was trying to hit Daugherty down around the 25-yard line, and incomplete.
The play action fake here. He's trying to make it look like the triple option, but pass all the way. And Paducah Tillman is just so quick, Jim, defense. He just does not have time to set over the football.
He took a look again. Mins-Cole got there to him and hit him as he released it. So Galicia is taking some licks today.
Clock arrest, 7:03 third quarter. Coming with the 3-point lead. It's booted away. No one back deep for Paducah. And that kick, wind 8, will go on into the end zone. 7 yards on the punt. Somewhat surprising, Paducah Tillman, no one back with that wind gusting has to be at least 25 miles an hour. I figured that anything that gets up in that kind of wind will go on in the end zone.
Might be kind of hard to field too with the wind messing with it up there and maybe swirling around. It might be hard to field that. You know, they make turnovers.
The left to running. It's across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Pickup of 7 on first down. First down play.
Well, here again, they come out with the same formation that they started the second half with, an unbalanced set to the right side, and they run the counter back into the quick side with Highlands over-adjusting over to the strong Jim, and it was a good.
They'll take that on first down.
Yeah, nice play. Certainly a lot easier calling 2nd-3 than 2nd and 9-10. Fullback Ridgway leaves down with 2nd and 3rd effort. Got up to the 30-yard line for the first down. We'll wait lay unpile. Ridgway, first all-state selection, really been pretty well bottled up by Highlands defense here. We're midway through this third quarter. Glad to join it. Tim Frazier along with Tim Sir, Roger Redmond for WYMT TV, Hazard, Kentucky, also in conjunction with KET and Friends of Kentucky High School Athletics, bringing you the state football championship. The pitch back to Holmes. 3 at the 40. Couple of blockers in front. Midfield. 30. Went out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That's hustling over to make the stop. Steve Miller, and Coach, you talked about him so often. If not for him there, that would have been 6 points for Paducah.
You see the play here. If you notice right here, a great block by the fullback right here on the defensive end. It cuts him down and just opens up the hole. And a great run right here. 55 comes from backside. Now this is a defensive tackle right here that makes the play.
Sonny Miller hustling. Gain 48 yards. First and 10 for Tillman with that excellent field position once again. Wells in the slot and rolling left. Heavy pressure. Tries to get it to Ridgway over his head. I believe the wind was playing games with that one.
Wind had a bit of pressure on him that time. He's really struggling.
On standing defensive play from the bootleg and tried to hit fullback in the flat. But again, he does not have any time to throw the football.
You mentioned Ridgway a minute ago. Really not involved today. 5 carries for 10 yards. Well, we have him.
Holmes checks in as Woodford checks out. Holmes with the eye. Wells in the slot left. Mason to the near side as Leo Mason back in after having the breath knocked out of him. And Andre hits the carpet once again.
Clint Conn, the left guard, a little bit just right there, moved, and it's a 5-yard pen.
But Tim, as you know how crippling that can be, we get down to scoring position and those penalties on 2nd and long. That's going to make it 2nd and long, as you'll see here. A little bit of a jump on the offensive line. Send Wells and Mason out to far side this time. Split the backs. Wyatt. Into the 22. First man there was Shields and had some help from the defensive backs to come and make the stop. Wyatt gets most of the yards lost due to the penalty. It'll 3rd and 10 now. Paducah Tillman from the 22 of Highlands.
Well, Keogh Wilson had been in there in a while. Just did a ripping job, I guess, on the left ankle that he injured a while ago, and we'll probably see him back in there. 44 blue.
3rd and 10, tough call here, Tim, because the wind is so very tough to throw into.
Jim, they're in the same form they've had success was they run the counter back into the quick side again.
Back to Holmers out in front. 20, 15, trips up. The first down marker. Looks like Shields coming up. His linebacker to trip him up once again. See. Leaves the way spot here. It's going to be first down.
Here it is. They run the tall sweep in. Strong set have not shown a great block there by the fullback. See the hole open there and picks up the first down, Jim.
Holmes with 75 yards right now on 6 carries.
1st and 10 from the 11 of Highlands. Clock tick 4 minutes change to Porter. Tim with the 3-point lead in the ball.
Woodford, and he coughs it up and over.
Sonny Miller fell on the foot. He called his name all day over the field. 55 and white.
And you can see the Highlands folks love it. Tim, take it.
Here you see on the replay, they run the counter back into the quick side with the strong side set away. And here again, Hat goes on the ball loose, and number 5 recovered foot it.
Highlands, they're on the 7-yard line into the left. Tiptoes his way across the 10 to about the 13-yard line. Nice game, 6 yards on the, it'll be 2nd and 4.
Coach, what does it do to a team to drive all down the field like they did and then cough it up?
Good question, Roger. This is the second time this half and haven't come up with points, and it certainly has got to take some out of those kids for not being able to get any points on the board.
Second and 4. Elite as a reliever off. 32 coming up with the Richter for first down. He spotted up around the 23-yard line, gain of 10, and the Highlands folks love it.
When he has had time, Galicio, to throw today, he has connected more often than not with his receivers.
Galicio rolling to his left. He'll hit Wolf for another first down. Pick up of 12 yards on the play. Coming up to make the stop, Tim Carruthers.
Well, it's off the play action here again. Not much of a fake. It's passed off away. His first read to try to hit slant, which is covered, but he ends up hitting back in the flat and wide open, Jim. Picks up a big first down.
How about a Galicio 7 through the air?
Comes to the near side. Galicio rolling to his left end. Thought he had room over there, but nice job by that guy we've called so many times. Dominic Hughes comes over and trips him up, and looks like Sadie Mins-Cole was up.
Here we see it's a naked book, and they really fooled Purdue, but great speed. But defensively, they end up making the play.
2nd and 10, Highlands. Victor to the near side. Try to hit him on that slant. Incomplete, thrown behind Paducah's Troy Holmes. Had a beeline on it.
Certainly did. You know, the slant, it's kind of a dangerous pass, and though it's a short route, and with the wind blowing like it is right now, that could have very well been a big turnover right there, Jim.
It'd be tough on those receivers, too. Marcus Jackson put a hit on Richter after the ball had gone past him.
You wonder now, clock stopped with 2:16 to play, how big a factor would it be for Highlands to score? Well, they've got the win, Tim. You know, in the next quarter, it's going to be pretty rough on them. Galicio. Oh, the middle. What a catch! Pulling it in was Ken Shields, fullback, and that was a picture book catch.
Here we see the replay. Most of their passes off play action. They run the angle. See the guard pulling here, and Galicio is just behind right now. Doesn't have clean. Makes a super catch right here, up and catching the football. Great camera work.
Certainly is. Greg Roller slashes off the left side. He gets inside the 45 to the, we'll call it 5. It's 2nd and 5 Highlands, and the Bluebirds to fly a little bit in this wind.
Looks like they're trying to free Galicio up a little bit to roll out and be able to throw the football, and his receivers are open.
Are you surprised, Tim, they're throwing the ball this in this third quarter?
Well, they're going to have to throw to move the football against this defense and of it up while they have the wind advantage.
Kohler picked up a couple. Another third down call. It'll be 3rd. Get a good look at the Highlands mentor, Tom Duck. And big 3rd down call, 3rd and 3 for 1. The pitch back to Hoffman. He turns the corner enough for the first down before Tim Jones comes over and makes the stop.
It's just good pursuit, good speed.
He's running the short side of the field. He is an excellent backer. Gets enough to be able to pick up.
The 4th first drive, originally their own 7-yard line. An impressive drive by the Bluebirds. And boys, if we go back to another one of those turnovers, Tillman knocking down deep. They had a 1st and 10. And the Highlands 11. They cough it up. And now the Bluebirds with a lot of momentum. Head cook at Tillman pushed that thing across and got maybe a 10-0 lead going into the 4th quarter. They would have looked pretty solid, Tim.
Exactly right, but you know, you look back in the first half, Highlands had an excellent job to score too. They turned the football over, so you know, playing on both sides.
Good shot of the Louisville Scott.
Glad to be in Kentucky to the state high school football championship. The game we've got here on the slant once again. Hauled in, breaking free with Brian Weinrich down to the 20-yard line. A gain of 10 yards on the play. The Highlands love it.
Well, how accurate Leash is with his pass, Tim.
Okay, they changed the route up here a little bit. They've been running the slant off the play-action pass. This time they just run a hitch on the outside, and the defense back looking for the slant, and he come clean.
The 11th play of this drive. From it, finds an open receiver. Again, Weinrich hauls it in. Nice play, Galicia, to evade the pressure.
Well, he's